I'm Rob Mark, and this is On the Mark. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say the word mentor? Maybe a coach or a counselor, someone wise, a person you'd trust to offer you important advice, like with your finances or maybe even with your career. A good mentor would guide you around some of life's hurdles and try to keep you from making the same mistakes as people who came before. So, would you like a mentor? Heck, who wouldn't? I could still use one right now, to be honest. NBAA thought there'd be an interest too at this year's convention for connecting young professionals with, well, let's say a few more experienced men and women. I promised my friends I wouldn't use the word old here. One night, the group spearheaded by Sierra Grimes partnered with Southcom's AviationPros.com team, as well as some of the folks from Airport Business Magazine's 40 Under 40, for a little adult beverage and conversation. A nice crowd showed up, and many like me who were only too happy to listen to the flurry of questions. The next morning, a great panel discussion included 4 mentors from different parts of the industry, of which I was lucky enough to be one. It was a lively session, but as valuable as it was, I came away thinking we all still have some work to do if we're going to help groom our replacements. Mentors evolve through networking, and networking usually means people talking to people they don't know. Think about it. When was the last time you walked into a crowded room and approached a stranger and just introduced yourself? It's really not that easy sometimes. But we expect industry newcomers to jump right in and make it all work. At the Young Professionals Cocktail Party, I met a young man, Chris Chiocho from Indy Asset Exchange. He's about 30 with some work and leadership experience and sells airplanes and operates a growing Part 135 charter company. We talked about how awkward networking can be, and actually he suggested the two of us just go wander around the group to get a better handle on what they were thinking. I liked the idea. I have to admit, I was kind of surprised though that even when we had our great networking badges on, many young people just refused to let go of their friends to chat with either one of us, despite our best efforts. Now, eventually, Chris and I introduced ourselves to one young man who mentioned an interest in Part 135 charter. I pointed to Chris, but the young man seemed to have no idea what to do next. Eventually, he joined a young lady in the next group and left, never even bothering to ask for Chris's card. Now, maybe that was a fluke, but it was also a missed opportunity. A few other encounters that night made me think that maybe we've missed sharing a few networking basics with people. So I created a few rules of the road to help even the most shy networkers succeed. First, keep in mind that you're not the only nervous person at a networking event. So just pick someone and introduce yourself as if you're on a mission or researching a class paper. I think that makes breaking the ice a bit less personal and maybe a little easier. Do firmly shake hands at that introductory moment, whether you're a man or a woman. It's just what we do here in the States. Also, have a business card with your contact info and your interests ready to hand out. Think $15 investment at Staples for that. Prepare a couple of questions before the event as conversation starters and make them simple. Something like, so where are you from? Or how did you get started in the business? And be ready for the other person to ask you the same thing in return. Don't wait for the other person to ask for your card. Ask for theirs first. You're the one who wants the help. Before you know it, you may have a real conversation going. And finally, be sure and follow up a few days after the event and thank your new industry contact for their time. Ask if they wouldn't mind a few questions in the future. So that's my short list to get started. And remember, no one learned how to be a great networker in one night. It takes time and effort, but trust me, it's worth it. Now, maybe you have a few other suggestions, so do email me at the address you're going to see on the screen right about now, and we'll talk. From Chicago, I'm Rob Mark. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you enjoyed On the Mark, why not subscribe? We'll see you next time.